So now we're going to be examining some of the limitations of this study. The first limitation I'd like to address would be the threats to our reliability. So if we have a dependent variable that is a grade on an assignment, especially something that that comes from an English class, to an extent, it's going to be graded somewhat subjectively, which means that a student with a lenient teacher might be getting a better grade than a student with a stricter teacher. It's somewhat unfortunate that we don't have a rubric and that we don't have a model capstone project at this time. If this assignment were to be done, if this study were to be done in the future, we would utilize those instruments to ensure that we have greater reliability in the study. Sorry, John, I'm kind of infringing on your part, but another part that represents a huge limitation to our study is the fact that we miss out on really significant data just because we have a non-experimental design. And what I'm talking about here is we would expect to find students who do not have internet access to end up with a grade that reflects that. So it's almost like we're expecting to see the grades of students suffer because they don't have internet access at home. But you're not going to see that in the data if these students are going out of their way to make sure they get their assignments done in school where there is internet access. So if this were to be done completely fresh, then in an experimental design, you could have two separate groups. So you'd have the control group that didn't have any internet access versus the experimental group who did have that resource. Of course, then you would probably see that the students who did have internet access would be able to complete this assignment to the fullest extent and receive a higher grade for it. But that is a completely different research design, and so now at this time, John is going to be talking about some of the ways that we could have improved on this study.